Peeps, um, if you would all be so kind, would you I don't know, send me Bugsy, a if there is any, is there an English translation to Famitsu's review of Xenoverse, because I want to look at it. Mostly because, I mean, because I don't know, I'm not saying, I really think they treated this, I think they treated this, I'm listening to people, I'm hearing from people, I can't really speak Japanese, so I don't really know what they're saying in that review, but, but me on a personal level, I really think, and they rated freaking, it's like, they say it's lower than certain Dragon Ball Z games. I'm like, no. I'm not trying to jump to its defense, but, isn't there always going to be like a day one update before you even play the game? And they got this copy early. So, how you gonna release a review before that update comes? That's the kind of crap that gets on my nerves right there. How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that when that first update hasn't even come yet, They're like gameplay. I like Ultimate Tenkaichi for what it's trying to do. It paved the way for this game when it comes to character creation. But, that's pretty much what Ultimate Tenkaichi basically was. A game that was pretty to look at. Pretty to look at, but not really that fun to play. Because I don't know, I hated the little rock, paper, scissors little system they had in that thing. And I was like, I lose to it every time because it would go tsh, and then if I press the wrong button, I get my ass kicked. I just feel like, and Bella Z, there's not really not a lot of combos. All it is punch, punch, punch. And if you're like me, it's punch, power up, special move. Punch, power up, special move. Punch, power up, special move. Just over and over again. Really, there was no real, strategy to it at all. It's an arcade game, so what do I expect? But at the same time, I expect just for a bit of, combos and whatnot. Yeah, I like the Budokai series. Infinite World to me was the most fucking hardest game I've ever had the pleasure of playing. Seriously, it's like Frieza was on crack when I was fighting him. Dude wouldn't die. God dang. So I just, they keep saying, oh, that was, that's and that. I don't know. I was looking at Rhymes' videos with the other dude. What's his name? Kage something? Kage Storm? Either way, I'm just saying, I'm saying, I don't do certain scores for. I don't do certain scores for video games. Well, not number scores. I do number scores when it comes to, TV shows. Stuff I can actually watch. Stuff I can feel like they do need number scores. Video games, on the other hand, I feel more like it depends on it depends on what the person wants from that game. What their preference is. Did it meet their preference? Was it everything that they wanted it to be? Everything that they hoped it to be? But, I think from these four guys, that's kind of weird. You got 4 guys doing one review. You know, I mean, yeah, I heard, 2. I mean, I've heard 2, I've heard 3, but 4. I mean, not to say. I mean, that's kind of an unbalanced thing. If you're gonna review something, do it with 2. Have another person. 3, if you guys can agree, and I feel like there's a lot of you guys are unanimous. So, I mean, you need people with difference of opinion to like, if you're gonna have 3 dudes, 3 guys or 3 or 4 dudes doing one review, there's gotta be a difference of opinion. If there isn't that, well, it's gonna be a kind of one-sided review where everybody just agrees. I feel like they should have gave a lot more time. Wait until it's out for them because they get it a little bit earlier than we do. So they could have just waited until like the 15th and then just played the thing, and then I feel like the score would have changed. But that's just me. Again, people, it's all about It's all about their personal preference and what they look for in games and whatnot. Like all of us that review. It's what we look for in certain games, stories, movies, comic books, and whatnot. It's what we look in. It's what we look for, and what we think is good, and what we think is bad, and what we want in certain things, and what we don't want. That's the heart of reviewing, right there. But you need folks to take out your personal fan bias. You gotta actually try and look at this game like, okay, you have to look at Xenoverse. You have to look at Xenoverse and give it a good, or bad review. But you gotta look at it without the guise of I hate Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. You gotta be indifferent to it. If you're indifferent to it and you love the game for what it's doing, love the game for what it's doing with the characters, what it's doing with everything, then you give it a good review. If you just don't like it and actually give valid reasons why you don't like it, you can give it a bad review. I don't know what Famitsu did in their review. I'm just assuming, I'm just assuming. I haven't read the actual review. I don't know what they were actually thinking. If someone could give me like a translated version of that review, that would be lovely. But personally, depends on what. Because from where I'm looking at, Xenoverse looks like a freaking awesome game, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's a possibility that I can't be wrong, because god dang, sometimes even the best reviewer and even someone like me can be wrong. I thought Sonic Boom was gonna be awesome. I thought Sonic Boom would pave the way for certain other characters to come back into or go into the main Sonic canon, but nope, ain't happening. So I was wrong. Now, folks, you gotta think about this though. You gotta really think about this when you're reviewing things. You got to think about what is fun about the game, what isn't fun about the game, and if you can focus on that, then you got it. People like Vids, they like to put their own little bias on every little thing that they review because, they just want to do it to see people get angry. And Mario the Plumber, well, he is what he is. And that's all I really need to say about that dude. But, rest of us, we just gotta put our bias aside and just review the thing as it is. review the thing as we see fit. And if it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. You gotta make a well thought out reason why you think it's good. You gotta make a well thought out reason why it's bad. You have to think about what you want to say, what you don't want, what you want to say, what you think you should say, and what you don't want to say. See, and that is how you review. Don't be like these other little. Don't be like Mario the Plumber and review a game that hasn't even come out yet. Don't be like Gohan64 and review something or pass judgment on something that on a death battle that hasn't even came out to the public yet because they're still working on that animation. Don't listen to somebody like him. You know, because he, within himself, he's the real biased one. But he's the worst kind because he doesn't want to listen to what anybody else wants to say about the matter. He just wants to see it how he wants to see it. Not how we want to, not how people see it. No, just how he sees it. Whatever it is to please him, he's cool about it. If it pleases him, then that's it. That's like an absolute fact in his world. But, okay. I want to talk about the Save Toonami campaign I'm starting. Please, people, you gotta put in the hashtag Save Toonami to tell people, you know, Toonami's going down the slow slope of being canceled. And we all need to pull together to watch Toonami, at least try to get those numbers back up. You know? Because I'm not gonna let it end like this, and I won't let it end like this. I can't. You know, I don't think you, like I said before, I don't think you all want to either. You know, you need to tell everybody that's lost interest in Toonami, like, hey, here's One Piece. Hey, here's this and this and this, you know? I mean, maybe I'm not really truly freaking, maybe I shouldn't be freaking out. That's like the time slot's a little bit cut. But at the same time, I remember how this went. I remember how it got canceled the last time. And it's like, it's that fear of it might being canceled in the same exact way that it was before. That's what's making me nervous. That's what's making me worry. You know? Because we have fought way too hard to get Toonami back. And for the people that still push Toonami into people's minds long after it was already gone. I'm looking at you, everybody that's ever done a Toonami retrospective. You too, Future Gohan. Because like it or not, you were like it or not, Future Gohan SJ. You helped people realize that they wanted Toonami back. Even if it wasn't the Toonami that you wanted back, you had them realize it. And that, my friends, is why I want to say Toonami. Because we've all tried and fought hard and prayed, we sort of prayed, just saying, hey, bring Toonami back, bring Toonami back. I've seen people write letters to freaking Cartoon Network. I've seen people do a lot of things just to get Toonami back. And when we finally do, we're happy. But since people have lost interest in saying, oh, we can watch anime everywhere. See, Toonami still provides a service for people that haven't seen anime. It's like their gateway. It's their gateway to anime. And I'm not going to let that gateway be closed just because they're not getting the ratings they want. So that's why I'm trying to help before before it goes down, before we see Tom leave again and go, until we meet again, bang. And I gotta make sure, I gotta freaking, you guys gotta freaking pledge to me. If you have nothing to do on the weekend, you don't have to get up, you don't have a job, it's your day off that night or something, please watch Toonami. If we show them that we still care, that they can still get the numbers they want, we just gotta keep watching. We'll show them that we still care about it. And I can probably hear a lot of people go, Bugsy, you're just, that's just probably what they want. Did you show them? They might take it away from us anyway because not a lot of people are watching. That's how businesses work, people. I'm sorry you live in the fantasy world where you could just be like, you can do whatever you want in business and it doesn't have any kind of repercussions. But that's the truth. The only way they're going to see Toonami as a asset if they see more people watch. Because the more people watch, the more money they get. And that's why I need you guys' help. So give people the hashtag #SaveToonami. Because I ain't letting it go down. I ain't letting it go down without a fight. You can trust and believe that. Well, I'm done here. I told you a little something about reviewing for people that want to try. And I also talked a little bit about my Save Toonami campaign. I will see you all later, and please use the hashtag. Just use the hashtag, please. I'll see you guys later.